for the people of America and for the people of Arizona.
Joining us now from New York is Kathy Aroo. She's the publisher of Catalina magazine, and from Washington is Ali Noorani, the executive director of the National Immigration Forum. All right, Kathy and Ali, we're going to give you both cracks at this. Ali, let's start with you. What did you like about the ruling, and what are you concerned about still with this ruling?
Well, it's important to realize that this is a conservative judge. This is a judge that was recommended by State Senate Republican John Kyle, who I would call anti-immigrant. So this very conservative judge looked at this law and said, it is unconstitutional, and I have serious concerns about it. So there's
That's not what she said, Ali. I hate interrupting you in the first 30 seconds.
By saying that she is going to enjoin portions of this law, she has serious concerns about.
Okay, but I have to correct you. You said two things that were inaccurate. Ali, listen to me. You said two things that you're inaccurate. This is a no-spin zone. Number one, it's a Clinton appointee. She's a Clinton appointee.
Recommended by John Kyle,
to
Senate
say
Republican.
Senator John Kyle is anti-immigrant is a pejorative, and it's wrong. Anti-immigrant, maybe he's anti-illegal immigrant, but anti-immigrant is wrong, and I know John Kyle, he's not anti-immigrant. Number three, this decision is a preliminary injunction ruling. She did not rule on the merits of the case. The likelihood of success on the merits, we've got to be very clear. Sorry to interrupt you, but three things in about 30 seconds you got wrong.
Because she feels the government has a very strong case that questions the constitutionality of this law. Therefore, we are very happy in that she took this ruling. What it means is that actually law enforcement in Arizona can focus on the serious criminals that are there to do harm. This law, if implemented, would have been a massive diversion of law enforcement resources that the state of Arizona just cannot afford. At the end of the day, the solution is at the federal level. So for whether it's John Kyle or John McCain or any other member of Congress to stand in the way of fixing the immigration system and then say, you know what, this Arizona law is the right thing to do,
we got that. We got that. Those are talking points. Kathy, you can take a crack at it. This decision is a preliminary injunction ruling, okay? We still have a long way to go in the court process. It's ultimately, without a doubt, going to go to the Supreme Court of the United States. It's a tougher question, but instead of the minutia of the ruling, how do police officers today, if they are concerned that someone they stop, detain, or arrest is an illegal alien, would you advise that police officer to ask about the immigration status of the individual?
But why? I mean, are they stopping them because they committed some kind of crime? Then this is a criminal. They committed a crime.
Stopping them for any reason. They could be involved in an auto accident.
Well,
they could. It looks like the guy could be drunk and could be in an auto accident.
Well, then that's another issue. Then he's a drunk driver. Then he's a DUI. He's a drunk driver. If you can get him for another reason, yes. But if he's an illegal immigrant, no. I think that you're just saying it's okay to ask someone if there's an odd skin color. If they're dark skin color, then yes, they can ask them if they're illegal immigrants. I don't think we'd be debating this.
That was prohibited in the statute. Right.
Exactly.
That was prohibited in the statute.
So if they're driving under the influence, check their alcohol level. If they're doing something illegal, please check that out. If there's blood all over the car, yes, if they murdered someone.
But you could ask.
But if they're illegal,
Kathy, I'm just asking it a specific question. Yeah. I think what's going on here, and look, this is a tough issue for a lot of people. Okay.
Right.
We're Americans, and I think we care about we care about our country. What's happening to our country.
Right.
There are a lot of good people out there who disagree on this issue, but in Arizona, just focus on Arizona.
Okay.
The people there have been slammed by increased crime. They've been slammed by joblessness. They have been slammed by frustration that the federal government will not and is not adequately enforcing these immigration laws. That's what led to this, Kathy. You can disagree with the law,
Crime has gone down. Immigration has gone down in Arizona. What's led to these laws is pure racism, and it's a governor who's trying to get reelected, and she's running.
So the people of Arizona
are
racist.
Political ploy.
Are they racist?
Well,
are the people of Arizona really racist?
The majority of the people supported Jim Crow laws in the 60s till they banned those. For 100 years, we had those Jim Crow laws because people supported them. So I don't know what these
Jim Crow laws with checking on someone's immigration status.
Really? I don't think the people.
Where you want to go with this?
I really don't think the people of Arizona are concerned with the Canadians that are coming to their town. I think most of the illegals that came to this country that were terrorists or people that are committing crimes really came here with their papers. They had papers, or they tried to come through Canada. So I don't think Arizona is worried about.
Tell that to the family in Colorado Springs who lost their little girl in a DWI accident when a guy had 12 aliases, a Guatemalan illegal immigrant who I guess didn't have his papers checked.
A lot
no
of
one checked his papers,
commit
ends up
crimes
killing
too.
a little girl.
A lot
that story's
of
been
non-Hispanics
repeated
do the
dozens
same
and
thing.
dozens of times across the country.
We're not going to jail
go
every
to
white guy because he's killed little girls. I mean,
see, it's not racial. You want to make it racial, and I think that's actually hurting the Democrats.
Well, you brought
because
up
Ali, I'm going to give you a chance to answer this question. The majority of Americans supported this law. Okay, it's just a fact. Gallup, Rasmussen, every poll done on this. Majority of people say, yeah, well, why shouldn't they be able to check on someone's status? It seems to kind of make sense as long as race is not a factor. And the Arizona law said is not a factor, cannot be a factor. What does that say to you about where the American people are on this issue, Ali?
When you look at the polling really carefully, what you find is that what is actually more popular than the Arizona law is Congress actually fixing the immigration system. So there was a poll that was done. 70% of voters supported the Arizona law. Of that 70%, 84% supported comprehensive immigration reform. Now, don't cut me off here. That is legalization, a path to citizenship, border and interior enforcement, and actually a future immigration system that balances the needs of our workforce with the needs of our economy. So what is more popular than the Arizona law is Congress getting to work, and that's what's needed.
That's accurate. Ali, but my question, but I have to ask the logical follow-on to what you just said. I took it all in. I heard what you had to say. You included enforcement, border enforcement, in your calculus of what people think and want. That's fine. What does that mean when a state really is hamstrung by a federal court judge ruling when she just says, oh, no, well, you can't require them to ask the immigration check. You can't do that.
You're mixing apples and oranges.
What's enforcement?
The state of Arizona can enforce its border. I mean, the state of Arizona, Secretary Napolitano, when she was governor, she sent the National Guard to the border in Arizona. So Governor Brewer can do that. I may not agree with it, but she can do that.
Why they're here and what they're doing. Police officers cannot ask.
The flip side of this is that if an immigrant is a victim of a crime, and they know that police officer is going to ask their immigration status, they will not report that crime. Therefore, that person is less safe, and everybody else in Arizona is less safe.
That's always the fallback argument. All right.
But it's reality, too. It is reality.
Yeah. The reality is the people of this country are fed up. That's the reality.